So in this video, we're gonna see a little bit about risk management and elite, hyper elite reasoning, hyper elite reasoning, uh, hyper elite reasoning acquisition. Because previously we saw about how elite trader make their reasoning, uh, tweak their thinking pattern. And before we start to look at it, I need to talk to you about the part 15, the vegetation Ishimoku cycle elite POV point of view. I added some numbers from 26 year till 49, but um, be assured that anything that is in between 26 and 49, I've wrote them down on the next part here below. Because let me tell you that the elite POV point of view is that when I am on the chart like this, and I see something, and I see, for example, something new, like a new revelation, that how the chart is talking to me about how to understand one thing. I wrote it down. I wrote it mostly inside those places, and uh, it make me view the market in a new way. So that is just to save my thought pattern, my thought idea, my reasoning style, my way of seeing the market. So I've been saving it here, and you can read it. Some are still in French, but I will translate it later in English so that you can read a little bit better. But everything that is in between 26 and 49 are already on in the bottom on the hyper elite reasoning acquisition down here. So so let me do something. Let us start with what I call the blockers. Let us start with what I call the blockers. What am I doing? What I call the blockers. You know, I want to translate. I want to translate. Okay. You know, there are two type of blockers, right? There are two type of blockers. There is the blocker, risk blocker linked to your capital, right? Let us say you have a capital of 100,000 francs CFA. 100,000 francs CFA, which is roughly $180, right? $180. And the way you block your risk is that rather than risking your whole capital inside one trade, you risk only 5%. So you block a certain percent of your capital, which will be like maybe $15, right? Which will be $15 in one trade, rather than risking $180. That is the risk blocker. But there is another blocker that you must master. You cannot use only one blocker to succeed in trading long term or even short term. You need to have the risk, the graphical risk. Here is a chart, right? Here is the chart on the screen, and here is Ishimoku, for example. You need to have the graphical risk, the chart risk. When I say graphical, the chart risk, the chart blocker. Sorry, there's another type of blocker, which is the chart blocker. What do I call by chart blocker is that if this line is the Tenkan line, you know that when the price fall down and create this low and touch Tenkan, Tenkan will react as a zone, and it will give zero probability, zero chance for the price to keep falling down. Like a probability to keep falling down, it will be 0%, and 100% chance for the price to go up. So Tenkan is a blocker because it blocks any probability for the price to keep going down. So Tenkan is a blocker. So this is one of the blocker, right? Another blocker is that what the other blocker is on your MetaTrader 4, where you block the percentage of your capital with some lot, like 0.02 lot on one trade to block 5% of your trade, right? These are another blocker. So those are the blocker that you need. So you don't, one is not like better than the other. Both of them are important at the same level of intensity because both of them give emotions, sentiment, and psychology, a type of psychology. If you don't know how to read the chart, no matter the small amount of risk, even if it is 1%, you will still burn your capital. Even if you risk 1% per trade and you don't know how to read the graph, you will burn your capital. Now, if you know how to risk and you don't know how to now if you know how to read the chart and you don't know how to do risk management, right? How to do risk management, you risk like 60% of your money, and then when the price will retrace a little bit like this, it will burn your account because you didn't know how to risk wisely and you didn't know how to take profit. Okay, so now we will need to look at the first part, which will be the risk reward per trade, the risk per trade. That's the first blocker. Then later on the next videos, I will show you 14 theories of digital to help you um, read the market like an hyper elite trader, not just an elite trader, but an hyper elite trader. So how to risk your capital. So let's start with that. Uh, so so let us start with the risk goal. The goal of the risk is, for the risk goal, you need to understand that there is different type of goal, right? There is different type of goal depending on who you are. Let us say, for example, you are here and you are still a child. So like you are 18 years old, a woman, a boy or a girl, let us say, but you are still a child, but you are legally allowed to already open an account internationally on some brokers, but you still depend on your mom and your dad money. And let us say that your mom, your parent give you 50,000 francs CFA per month for allowance. You still depend on allowance, right? Allowance, pocket money, allowance, right? 50,000 francs. And then, which 50,000 francs is around $90 per month, right? And your goal as a child will be to be independent from your parent hands and independent, right? Independent. Your independency, to be independent from your parent hands, like you don't want to depend on your parent to have taxi money, food money, and that will means that you need to replace with trading their hands. Like they used to give you $90 per month, but now since you want to be independent, you need to make trading give you $100 per per month so that you replace them. That will be your first goal as a child, as a teenager. Not a child, but let us say a child of somebody like a teenager, right? A teenager. But now there is another profile of person that For those who are jobless, for those who are jobless, you literally have $0 that you earn by yourself. So you depend on donation from your brother, your friend, your family, or any type of people. But those donations depend also on them. If they don't have some agency, they can plan you. Maybe they can give you, or maybe they cannot give you, right? So you are actually $0 by yourself. So your goal will be you will be to generate because you don't generate any cash, right? To generate money, right? To generate cash, and that generate cash. When your goal will be to generate cash, what you will be doing is that you will say, to handle my food per month, to handle my light bill, my internet connection, maybe my rent, uh, and my transport, I will need around, let us say, 150,000 francs CFA, which will be roughly $300, $300 per month from trading. So you come on this document. If you are a teenager who will say that my goal will be to be independent, you write here independent from my parent, from my parent. That is for the teenager. And now for a jobless person who will be to generate cash by myself. Okay. And when you are a jobless person, you write here the target income that I want for myself will be per month will be $300 per month for myself. Let us say like that. $300 per month for a third world country. I'm talking about people who live in Africa per month. I didn't talk about people who live in Europe, Asia, or America. Okay, in a third world country. So if you are a teenager and then you want to be independent from your parent, your goal will be to generate roughly $100 per month. You come here, you put the target income. Okay, okay. So now the next type of profile of person will be a 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 worker, somebody who has a job of 9 to 5. The thing is that this person already have like per month he can already earn, let us say even 300,000 francs CFA. 200,000 francs CFA, which will be roughly, let us say $600, $600 per month. Okay. But the problem is that if you generate 200,000 francs CFA, you have like two kids. You have two kids. You have rent to pay. You have food to pay. You have clothes to pay. You have health to pay. You have if let us say you are a woman and your husband is not actually working or has a problem, is not generating money now, you have all of this to pay, you have all of this to support, and this money is not enough. You suffer from what I call salary insufficiency, right? That is salary insufficiency. So your goal will be to generate extra cash. You will need extra money, extra cash, right? That will be your extra cash, and your extra cash will be the same amount of your salary. If you can actually earn the same amount of your salary in trading, like extra cash will be also $600 per month more, so that when you add up the two, you become $1,200 per month. So you will come here and say, okay, I need extra cash to double double my salary. Okay. And then you write here $600 per month. Okay, your target income. All right. So that will be you as a 9 to 5 person. I'm talking about third world country population. I'm not talking about Europe, Asia, or friends, like those Europe, Asia, and America, those big people, because $600 in Europe is actually brokenness. I mean, it's crazy brokenness. You can't even pay rent with it. So don't get me wrong. People in UK, people in Canada, Vancouver, something like that. So the next people will be the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs, right? Those entrepreneurs, those self-employed entrepreneurs, self-employed. The problem with self-employed entrepreneurs, people, their salary fluctuates. Freelancer, sometimes they have money, sometimes they don't have. They have dry season, a lot of dry season. But when he gives a lot. But after it's dry, then he gives, then it's dry. So what can be done is that what you need is that what is need most is financial stability. Financial stability. It's not like you don't earn money. You earn times to time and you don't like it, right? And your financial stability can mean $1,000, $1,000 per month, which will be 600,000 francs CFA, or 600,000 francs per month in for third world country. But by the way, so you will come here, you will say financial stability, and then you put 1,000. Okay. And then the last person will be retiree people who have their pension retraite. Retirement pension, right? Retirement pension money. Retirement pension money can be, you can be earning like between, depending of the type of work you did when you were younger, can be between 800,000 francs and 500,000 francs per month that you already earn. You already have money, right? Because the national security, CNPS, la Caisse nationale de prévoyance sociale, on appelle ça, on dit ça comment? In Cameroun, is Caisse nationale de prévoyance sociale. The National Social Security Fund, right? Who help retiree people to still live with the money that they save. What is happening is that the problem is that when you have this money, let us say you have 500,000 francs per month, it's actually good for you alone as a old person, as an advanced age person in Africa, okay? But the problem is that if you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, maybe your fourth and fifth kid are still 20 years old and they need to go to university. Maybe they need to go to travel to Europe, Canada, to America, Brazil, to Italy, and do school. But this 500,000 francs is not enough to pay them school. So it's enough for you, but not for you to to pay them traveling. Traveling can cost like 5 million francs, 7 million francs, 10 million francs only for the first year. And you don't yet, you no more have the same financial power as when you were working. So what you need most to put your last two kids in schools and pay them school will be a a a I will call it pension growth. How do I call it? Pension growth, like your pension money growth, right? Your pension money growth. That's what you need most. Okay, because first of all, your pension money is not that your salary that you had. Okay, it is like 3 times less, 4 times less, or 5 times less. Okay, and even for yourself, you don't feel like you still have the same value in life for your own kid as you used to have. So what you look in trading and investment, you look for you look at mostly at pension growth so that you can reach actually reach back the same level. So you need this money twice or even three times. Let us say pension growth like three times the five, like you need 1.5 1,500,000 francs CFA, like you used to have like maybe 2,500 dollars as a pensioner, as a retired person. So that's what you need as a goal. Okay. So you need pension growth. You need to triple, let us say your triple my pension, which will mean 2,500 $2,500. Okay, that is your goal. Now after that, okay, after that, that is first of all the first goal, depending on the profile. Because the first goal for you is to get your head out of the deep waters. The deep waters is the rat race, the rat race, where you know that the scale economy is not real. You cannot get rich by selling product only, unless you have large warehouse. Even when you have large warehouse, selling one product will not get you rich, because as soon as you sell more shoes, you need more employee, and the salary mass dry a lot of business out there, because you cannot serve like 1,000 clients you alone. You will be dry. So first of all, you need to get out of the rat race. And to get out of the rat race, here are your goals. So those are your first goal in trading, right? Those are your first goal in trading. So financial goal. Then the last ultimate goal will be financial autonomy. Financial autonomy is that financial autonomy is that you don't depend anymore. Financial autonomy is that you don't depend on client, you don't depend on any boss, you don't depend on donation of your brothers and sisters whom when they feel good, they give you. If they don't feel, they don't give. Okay. You don't depend on anybody, and then you are very autonomous, and then you are financial autonomous but wealthy, not just you earn money by yourself, but wealthy, right? So if you want to come out from the working class, like maybe you are a teacher, you are an accountant, or you are an entrepreneur, a freelancer, marketing, design, or an event planner, and everything else like that. Your most ultimate goal will be the financial autonomy. Okay, financial autonomy, that is that you are so autonomous that no client, no job, no family member can tell you anything. It is, and that financial autonomy starts from 2,500 francs CFA per month that you will generate. So now, how to reach that financial autonomy with a wise risk for yourself? How to reach that financial autonomy with a wise risk? So let us now look at this part in this document, like the initial capital. Let us say the starting capital. The risk per trade, the risk reward, the stop loss, the win streak, and then okay, let us see all of this on this graph. It's crazy that I did not. Okay, let me explain to you first of all of this Google sheet. So you need to stay in this Google sheet, but inside the first tab here, percentage per trade, this one at the bottom left, percentage per trade RR. The first column on column B is the number of trade. Okay, the number of trade is I've put here 365 trade, like in 1 year. If you take one trade per day, that is successful. In 366 days, I place 366 days. Okay. this document I wanted to what I forgot to put there is this. I forgot to put this there. I also forgot to put it here in French. Okay, that's all I forgot. Okay. So it's true that it's not beautiful, but anyway, I'll fix it later. So the number of thread is the column B, yeah. Now the capital, when you start, on this document, you will start with a capital of $10. Okay, we will look at a capital of $10. So your starting capital will be $10 as a starting capital. Okay. So okay, the starting capital will be $10. Okay. Now that will be the column C and column D. But in column D, it will be in dollars currency, and in column C, it will be in franc CFA currency. So $10 is 5,634 francs. Okay. That is $10 in franc. This on and you can only change in this tab in this Google Sheet the column D and only the line 4, the line where there is this black color, where there is the $10. That's only where you can change. You can change this number into 200, for example, and it will change the whole document number. Okay, the whole starting capital. If you change the starting capital, it will change the next because there is an automatic computation Google Sheet, Excel files, Google Sheet, something like that. And then the next thing that you can change will be the next will be risk per trade, the risk per trade. And we will start with 5% risk per trade. You can change also, you can change any at the whole column. You can change with any type of number, the whole column. Like the whole column E, you can change, right? You can change the number there. But for column D, only the black cell is changeable. The rest is not changeable because the rest has some formula in there. Like you can see here above on the top left of the screen. When I click here, you see something is wrote there for people who don't know how to use Google Sheet. So now the next one will be the next column will be if you lose your trade. So you take a trade of 10, you have a starting capital of 10 $10, right? Your starting capital is $10. You risk per trade 5%. What does that mean? It means that you have a position like this, right? You have a position like this, and this part of the trade is $10. Okay. That is sorry, this part of the trade is not $10, this position. It is 5% of $10. 5% of $10 is how much? 5% of $10 is, let us go directly first on column H and I. Column H, column I, sorry, column H, the risk per trade in the risk per trade in dollar is on column I, and 5% of $10 is $0.5. So this part of the trade is $0.5, okay, which represent 5% of $10. $0.5 represents 5% of $10. Okay. So now the next thing will be to convert $0.5 into franc CFA, which is $282, 282 francs CFA. So in this position, you are actually having a position that is 282 francs. Okay. And this $10 is 5,634 francs. So if you take 5% of 5,000, 5% of 5,000 is 282 francs. You can actually take your calculation and you have this is 200. Okay. Now let us say that you aim in a position to earn 3 times what you have risked. So what you are risking, this one is the risk. This part of the position in trading, this one is your risk. So what you are risking is 200, and then you aim to earn 3 times 200. Like you aim to earn this one. If this one is the risk, you aim to earn it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So if you are risk here $0.5, so it means that you earn 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 again. The added sum of 0.5 plus 0.5 plus $0.5 is $1.5, right? $1.5. Okay. It's the same thing in France CFA. If you risk in one position 282, so it means that you risk to earn, you want to earn 3 times that is it means that you need to add up 282 plus 282 plus 282, just 3 times. And when you add up all of this, it will be 282 plus 282 plus 82 plus 282 equal to 846, right? So it means that at the end of the day, you have, when you win this trade, 846 dollars. Oh, sorry, it's how much? 846. Sorry, 846. It means that you gain 846 francs on this one position. So when you gain 846 francs in this one position, you will see that you can actually validate it inside the document. The document shows you that if you risk in one trade, in your first trade, because we are here in the first trade, you start with a capital of $10, which is 5,600 francs. Now you risk in one trade $0.5, which is $280, 80 francs CFA, and then you aim to triple your risk. It means that you earn 3 times your risk, right? This is the risk reward. By the way, you can actually change any number on this risk reward column. Okay, you can change anything on this blue column. So that's also a column. That's the last column that you can change. You can only change 3 columns here. So now, when you earn that on that one trade, the gain, like the earning, so the earning at the end of the trade will be $1.5, and in France CFA will be 845 francs CFA. You get the point? So this document gives you an automatic calculation. If you change the starting capital to $50, you will see that I've changed the starting capital to $50, and the earnings for the same percentage, for 5% per trade like we did, and a risk reward of 3, the earning have changed because I've changed the starting capital. That's because this document is automatic. It gives you a number automatically. So and the formula are already well well calculated by me. And you can verify by yourself. I don't tell you to trust me, to believe me. I don't tell you to believe me by my word. You can verify by yourself. So now, now that I've shown you the risk reward, I needed to translate this one. Oh man. Fuck, it's too much. It's too much. What the fuck? Okay. Now, okay. Now, let us do it back from the beginning. Let's do this back from the beginning so that I can explain to you each part of the document. There are some parts that I did not explain yet. So let us come back at the beginning again. You start trading inside your broker MT4, you put $10 inside. Okay. In one trade, you risk 5%. And this is the position that you take. This is the position that you take. And this is 5,000. This is your starting capital is 5,634 francs. Okay. And you risk 5% per trade. It means that this is your risk on MT4. On this rate, it means that you are risking half of a dollar on this trade like this, which the equivalent of it on in franc CFA is 282 francs CFA. So now you aim to earn 3 times your risk, not your whole capital, your risk. Your risk is 5% of your capital. It means that if you have a whole capital of $10 like this is $10. Your risk will be only this part, only this small chunk of 5% here. That's what you put inside your position, okay? And you aim to earn 3 times it. If it is in dollar, right, and you earn 3 times it, 3 times your risk, it means that at the end you earn $1.5. If it is in franc CFA, at the end you earn 845 franc CFA. At the end, when you earn in this one trade, when you earn it in this one trade, what you will do is that your new capital, what I call new capital, your new capital, we call it NC. New capital will be the initial capital CI plus your gain, your earnings, for one trade, for a trade that you just gained. It means that it will be $10 plus $1.5, right? Which will be $11.5. Your new capital will then, your NC new capital will be then $11.5. That's why you see this $11.5 here. Okay. The earnings plus the starting capital. Okay. And in franc CFA, it will be 5,634 plus 845, which you can basically compute here, which give you 6,479. Okay, 6,480, the new capital. 6,000. So the new capital will be 6,480. Okay. So that is how this document works. So when you have the new capital, you don't change the risk per trade. You keep the same amount of risk in one trade. Okay. You have the new capital, you keep the same amount of risk in one trade. It means that your risk per trade, I mean, skip these two columns first. Go directly on column I here. Your risk per trade is now 0.58. What does it mean? It means that you start now with the new car capital, which is $11.5. Okay. Uh, what the fuck? $11.5. And then you risk the same amount per trade. You open a position. Now the position will not be half of a dollar. It will be $0.58. Why? Because you don't your the capital that you trade now for this position has increased. It was $10. Now it has increased by one, added up by adding $1.5. Now it is $11.5. So the 5% of $11.5 is more than the 5% of $10 because the starting capital is bigger, all right? So it means that in France CFA, you start now with a capital of 6,480 francs. You risk the same amount per trade, and now in this position, you have 324 francs inside this position. So now you aim to earn 3 times again. You don't change the earning aim. You aim to earn 3 times. In dollars, you aim to earn 0.58, 0.58, and 0.58. When you add up all of the 0.58 times 8 times 3, 0.58 times 3, it gives you 1.74, right? $1.74, which you can verify. Yeah, you see $1.73. Okay. When you do 0.58 times 3, it gives you $1.73 of earning in this one trade. In France CFA, it will be 324, 3 times. When you aim to earn 324 times 3, it is 972. Now you earn 972 francs CFA. So now your next new capital, your next new capital will be $11.5 plus what you just earned. What you just earned is $1.74. It means that it will be 13.24 dollars. That will be your next new capital. That is why you see $13.23 here. Okay. Don't mind the small difference after the comma. Okay. That's what you see here. So now in France CFA, it will be in France CFA now in France CFA, it will be 6,480 francs plus 972. 6,480 plus 972. It means that your new capital will be 7,400. 7,400. You see, 7,400. This is your new capital. So in this position, you earn nine. So you see how the Google Sheet is working, right? You can actually, oh, my keyboard is disturbing me again. That's how the Google Sheet is basically working. This Google Sheet is working. So in the next position again, in the next position, so this is the new position. You have $13 that you take 5% of $13, which is 0.26%, $0.26. 5% of 13 is 0.26. In France CFA, 5% of 7,400 is 373 francs. Okay. Now, when you earn three times your risk, three times this risk, not three times your capital, three times this risk, right? You earn $1.98 per trade, which is bigger than 1.5. You earn more than when you started because your new capital has grown up. Same thing in France CFA. At the beginning, we're earning 800 francs CFA. Now you earn 1,100 francs CFA. Okay, so that's a little bit what how I wanted to explain to you the game. Okay, now let us look at the goal. So let us say that you have then started your journey to be autonomous, and you have started your journey to be your goal to have a financial autonomy, and then you aim to have 2,500 francs, $2,500. So when you go on this Google Sheet, when will you reach $2,500 as a new capital? Okay, as a new capital, you need to go down because if you take trade number one, trade number two, three, four, five, six, you need to go down till here. The trade number 41, the trade number 41, and you will need 41 trade to reach as a new capital to 2,600. That is when you will reach your autonomous goal. Okay, it will take you 41 days. 41 days as a number of trade, 41 trade. But if you trade one trade a day, one successful trade a day, it will take you 41 trade. So you will need 41 win streak. Win streak is like today you trade and you win. Tomorrow you win. Tomorrow you win. Tomorrow you win. Each day you win. If you make like 41 days straight without losing in between one day there, that is a streak. Okay, you will need 41 streak. You need a lot of skill and discipline to do that. So that's how you will block your risk. That's how you block it. Okay, you start with a capital of $10. Your risk per trade is $5. Where you take the profit is at a risk reward of 3, and then your stop loss. You put your stop loss, and then you will need 41 win streaks. Okay. So now, after that, what you need to know is that there is another part inside your Google Sheet, this tab or percentage per trade risk. I need to name it even percentage per trade risk. I'll also name it there in France, in French. In French. I'll also name in my own So now let me explain to you the losing. In case you lose, let us say that you take a trade and then you lose. What happened? Let us look at now at the column F and G. It's the same column, but it's just like the currency that is the difference. So let us say if you lose, you take a loss, your new capital in case of a losing trade. In case of a losing trade, let us say that you are in on the trade number 5, right? And then you take the trade number 5, your starting capital will be $17. Okay, you are on your 5th day. You start with a capital of $17.49. This is your starting capital, right? Which is 9,800, which is 9,855 francs. Okay. You risk 5% per trade. You risk 5% per trade. So it means that you open this position. Okay. When you open this position like this, right? You open this position like this, and then 5%, 5% of $17 is how much? 5% of $17, you come here on this column I, you see 0.87. You see $0.87, right? Which is in francs CFA 493. 493 francs. Okay. This is your position. Let us say now the chart is going up, but rather than keep going to the take profit, it close you down at your stop loss. What are you losing? To know what you lose, you just need to take your capital 17.49 minus what you have risked. That is what you lose. Minus $0.87. It will give you this 16.62. If you do 17.49, 17.49 minus 0.87, you see your new capital after a loss is 16.62. Okay, that's what I did. You take the capital you start with minus what you have received. Same thing in France CFA. You take 9,800 minus 400, it will give you 9,300, right? Like this. That's how you see. That's how you understand this column. 41. Let us say that you have reached. Let us say that you have reached your financial autonomy at $2,600 here, and then you risk 5% of 2,000. 5% of $2,000 and $600 is $133. Okay, so your financial autonomy will be in francs CFA 1,500,000 francs CFA. If you take a position with that money, 5% of a position, it is you are risking 75,000 francs in that position. What you will need to do to understand is that if you are losing 75,000 in 1,500,000, you remain with 1 million and 430,000 francs CFA. And in dollars, you remain like and in dollars, 2,600 dollars minus $133 gives you $2,500. Okay, that is what this document shows you. In case you lose this position, rather than earning and reaching $3,000, you will come back. If you lose this position, you will lose and have this amount. If you gain, you gain and have this amount. Okay, the amount down the row, the amount down the row. That's if you win. But if you lose, you have this amount on the loser capital. Okay, that's it. So that's what I wanted to explain to you. It is the same thing here, by the way. So now let us look at the last number that I wanted to explain to you. It is the return on investment. For those who don't know what ROI is, ROI, for those who have never done business, ROI, I mean the teenagers, ROI stands for return on the teenagers and village people and on familiar people from the business world. Stand for return on investment. And what does that mean? Let us say that you are selling shoes, right? Return on investment means what? You are selling shoes and you start with a capital of, you have a funding that your grandmother gave you, 100,000 francs CFA. You go and buy 12 shoes with it, right? And let us say that on 3 shoes, right? On 3 shoes, you earn 25,000 francs. When you sell 3 shoes, you earn 3 shoes, right? When you sell 3 shoes, this whole bar gave you 12 shoes that you bought for 100,000 francs. When you sell 3 shoes, you earn 25,000. Let us say that when you sell 3 shoes, you earn 25,000. Your return on investment on these 3 shoes is how much? It is 25% of what? It is 25% of your capital, your initial capital, your funding, your initial funding. It's not 25% of anything in the air. It represents 25% of something that we compare to. We compare this 25,000 francs CFA to a starting capital. That's what we call a return on investment. First of all, we need to identify the investment. The investment is this one. The investment is this one. This 100,000 francs CFA, 100,000 francs CFA. The return is what? This is the return then, the RO. This is the return, okay? Then when we compare, the return compared to the starting is 25% return, okay? 25% return. Now, let us say you sell again 3 more shoes, and then the net profit at the end, when you finish selling your 3 shoes, the total net profit, like now you have sold 6 shoes. It means that you will have 50,000 francs CFA. Now the return on investment on the starting capital is 50%, because 50% is 50% of 100,000 compared to 100,000, right? So now let us say that you sell again 3 more shoes. It means that totally you have sold 9 shoes, right? It means that you have earned 75,000 francs CFA. Your return on investment after selling 9 shoes will be 75%. Okay. Now let us say that you sell again 3 more shoes. It means that you have earned thousand francs CFA for selling 12 shoes at the end, with like three, uh, 9 shoes, 9 shoes. Let us say 9 shoes. Oh fuck! You know what? You know what? This one was 9. This one was 9. It was not 12. With this 100,000, you bought 9 shoes. Okay, you bought 9 shoes. Don't mind my. No, 12. Why am I stupid like this? It is 12. It's 12, right? Because this is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12, right? Yeah, this one was 6. Oh, okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you sell again 3 shoes here, it means that at the end you have sold 12 shoes. So your earning will be 100,000. And 100,000 compared to your initial capital, which is 100,000, is 100,000 is 100% return. It means that, right? If you take a stack of 100K, you throw inside a bag like this. This is the stack here. And the bag must give you back something. First, it gives you 25,000. Okay, 25K. It means that you have given to you 25% of what you have put. If it gives you 25,000 again, when you add up the two, it means that it has give you 50%, like 50K. If it gives you 100K, it means that the bank has given you 100% of everything that you have put inside there. So you have made back what you have spent, because an investment is an expenditure that need to generate income, profit. It's not an expenditure like you go and buy what food. When you buy food, you just eat. Your belly don't give you back anything apart from giving you shit. But when you do a business, it's an expenditure that need to generate something. That generation is called return on investment. Now, if in case your furniture of shoes gave you 6 more shoes, like free, because you bought from him, you go and sell again 3 shoes here. It means that at the end you have 125,000 francs as a net profit benefits, right? So your return on investment is 125%. That is what return on investment. Now, if you sell again the last 3 shoes, it means that you now have 150,000. So now your return on investment is 150%, 150% of your starting capital. You start being profitable when your return on investment is above 100%. Above 100%. Your profitability is when you quit from above 100%. That's when you start being profitable in trading. Profitable in business, in general, in business, right? That's when you start being profitable. So you start earning this 25,000, this 50,000, 25, 50, 25, 50. That's when you start becoming a great or a profitable, that you can pay salary, you can pay yourself. So now, how does it work in trading? That was for the business standpoint. How does it work in trading then? Because that was for the business standpoint. In trading, it works totally in a totally new way. Okay, with a little bit of difference. Now, in trading, you start with $10 as a capital, right? $10 as a capital. Okay. You take one trade, and then that trade gives you as a bond, at the end of the trade, the earnings at the end of the trade, not what you have risked. because you cannot say that you eat your risk. You eat your earnings, because in this example, in the example above, we're talking about profit when you sell 3 shoes. So when you take a position, you sell a position or you buy a position on trading, this is what you earn. When you were selling 3 shoes, you were earning 25,000 francs. Okay, this is what you earn when you take one position. So the return on investment is what then in trading. First of all, you need to understand that in trading, this is first of all 100%. Okay, your whole capital is 100%. Now, when you earn, okay, 1.15 dollars, $1.15 is how much? Let us say it is 15%, right? It is 15% of what? It is 15% of $10. 1.5, 1.15 is 15% of $10. Okay. So your return on investment, if you put here a return on investment like this, it will look like this. You first of all take the $10 that represent 100%. So for your new capital, this will be your new capital, right? That is your starting capital, your initial capital, initial capital. That's your earning at the end of the trade, earning in one trade, okay? So now your new capital in terms of return on investment, okay, anyway, your new capital will be $11.5, right? Which represent a growth of, in terms of return on investment, of, first of all, your whole capital, your whole initial capital came back without losing anything. Because when you go and trade, you take just 0.5% like this. You put in a position and it gives you this. Okay, it gives you this earning. So now, your return on investment, you just need to add the earning here, 1.15, which is 15%. So the total return on investment at the end, you need to add up the two. It will be 115%. That is the return on investment. That's why you see on this document, when you will start the second trade, you have 115%. Okay. 115. When you start the second trade here, you start with 115% from, compared to what you have. So if compared to your initial capital, if you don't lose the trade, let us say you don't make a gain, you don't lose. At the end of the trade, you still have $10, so you still have 100%. You didn't lose. It's like you made a saving inside a box. You put $10 inside a box, inside a pig box, when you open the box after 3 days, you take $10. It means that you have put $10, you take $10. It means that your return on investment of your return on saving is 100%. You have saved $10, you have withdraw $10. It means that you didn't earn anything, you didn't lose anything. But when you earn $1.5. Let us say you place $10 and then you have earned $1.5. It means that $1.5 is compared to $10 is $15. That $15 is gives you at the end a return on investment of $115. That's what you see here, the return on investment. So now you start the new trade with $11.5, right? And then when you earn at the end of this second trade, if you earn $1.73. This is $1.73, right? You need to understand that when you earn this $1.73, right? You need to understand that what you will do is that your initial capital of the initial capital, the $10 that was there, this $10, you need to understand that you need to put the first earning, the first 1.15 years like this. So to do the return on investment, you will do the return on investment not compared to this $11, but still compared to the initial capital, because the initial capital is your only investment that you made. This $11 already has your earnings, and you should not use the earnings to compare the new earnings with it, because the formula of the return on investment is earnings divided by initial capital only. This capital here is not the initial capital, it's the new capital. Okay, is the new capital that has the earning already in it. So the return on investment formula must just compare the earnings divided by the sum of earnings, like the additional the sum of earning compared to the initial capital at the beginning. It means that at the first trade you earn 1.15 divided by $10. Now you have taken a new trade. Now the return on investment will be 1.15 plus 1.73. So you do the sum of earnings divided only by $10. Okay. Which will give you, which will give us 2.88 compared to $10. So now when we compare 2.88 to $10, $2.88 is, here is $10, right? Here is the initial capital. This $10 represent 100%, 100% like this. Now $3 represent how much? $3, this $3, this $10. $3 represent 30% of $10, because 2.88 is roughly $3. I wanted to use round numbers so that it can be easy to calculate. So at the end of this new trade, your return on investment will be your return on investment will be 130%. The first return on investment was 115% because you earn, but when we add up the earnings, you have this 130%. That's what you have here. At the end of the second trade, you have this return on investment. Okay, 130%. That's what I wanted to show you a little bit. And you will see that in trading, you become profitable like when you start getting earning. You become profitable like quicker, because you don't buy something to convert it and start selling. You just risk a little bit, a small percentage. That's why trading is really attractive in terms of because I told you that you start being profitable when you outpass the 100% return on investment bar. This is the return on investment grow axis. You start with zero return on investment to 100. When you are above 100%, you trading is attractive because you when you are skillful and then you start earning like this, your earnings is positive from day one. I mean, for the capital that you have put, I didn't say for your whole career, if you have bought courses, mentorship, coaching, many courses, trading signals, I didn't tell you to put all of your expenditure here. Here is just the capital that is inside metadata 4, MT4. I mean, for the capital, not for your whole trading expenditure. Because if you want to see if you are profitable in trading, you need to take in account the everything that you invested in mentorship, coaching courses, trading signals, and the capital also that you lost if you lost profit, personal, burn your own capital and all. You add it up, maybe it will give you $5,000. When you add it up, it give you $5,000. It's not the same as putting $5,000 inside MetaTrader 4 to trade with. It's not the same. Okay. So let us come back to what I was trying to say. Let us look a little bit at the percentage of return here. Let us say that your new capital, you have reached the financial autonomy at $2,600, and you will see that the percentage return is 26,000%. Of what? It is 26,000% of the initial capital. When you see this formula, G4, G4 is, if you go on G4, G4 is column D, line 4. I divide always by this G4, the initial capital. 26,000 return on investment, 26,000% of return on investment of $10. So you took $10, you made a return on investment of 26,000. That is huge. You made it grow. Normal business don't do that. Like now, normal business, like any business has its advantage. Let us just be fair. That's the advantage of trading. When you are good, when you know how to read a chart, how to place a position, how to have the good timing. I don't say when you are a noob, a weak trader, a fake trader who doesn't know how to trade and keep burning the capital. I mean, when you are a good trader and you can make this return on investment, this is the type of return on investment that you can make. 26,000. But in school, business, anything in life, anywhere in life that is related to traditional business, I didn't say on finance. I mean traditional business, selling shoes, selling product, is because the problem with other business is that it will just give you survival money, because it is related to your time and to the physical constraints like time. You cannot be a teacher and teach more than eight hours per day. Even your energy will get burned. So you are constrained by your energy, by your time. You don't have compound interest when you use time and energy. Even your product, you cannot sell. There's something that is called the scale economy. Product one, you sell product like, let us say you sell shoes. You cannot sell like 1,000 shoes by yourself and deliver the same day. You cannot deliver to 1,300 the same day. You need to hire delivery guys. And as soon as you hire delivery guys, you need to pay salary, be legalized, and it add up expenses. And before you do return on investment, you need to remove all of the expenses first. And it will never reach 26,000% return on investment. no matter the business that you do, where there's physical products that are related to time and energy like this. Time, energy, and natural barriers like physical barriers, natural, physical, mechanical barriers. It is the compound interest that gives this capacity to trading to work like this. That's why many people love trading. The compound interest. You leave the money inside the bank account and you use your skill to grow the money. Let me put a little bit of pause because we have talked a little bit of math here. Let me drink some natural water first. Okay, so now let us do a little bit of a a projection. You know, the ultimate goal of every trader is to reach, first of all, 1 million, $1 million. Okay. If you start with a capital of $10, after how many days you reach $1 million if you risk 1% per trade? And if you risk 5% per trade, after how many days do you reach $1 million? Okay, let us use what we have. You have $10. We start with $10 and we risk 5% per trade. We will have $1 million after 84 days, 84 trade or 84 days. Okay, which represent roughly 3 months. 3 months with only $10. If you sell shoes, you cannot do that. I mean, and if you are, but you only do that if you are good. Now, if you risk 1% per trade, you risk 1% per trade here. Oh shit, I made a mistake. You risk 1% per trade, and you keep the same risk reward here above, here on the right. So $10 initial capital, 1% per trade. After how many days do you reach $1 million? Oh, this Google should finish after 1 year. After 1 year, 366 days, you have 500K. So after 1 year, after 366 days, you have $500,000. So after 1 year, with 1% using on $10, you have this. But it is not you will not reach $1 million in 1 year, maybe the second year with $10. So depending on your profile, you will decide to tamper. So now to reach the same $1 million, let us change the initial capital. Let us change the initial capital. Okay. Let us change the initial capital. The initial capital. Let us say that you start with an initial capital of $180, which is 100,000 francs CFA. Okay, 100,000 francs CFA. So if you risk 1% per trade, and if you risk 5% per trade, after how many days do you get $1 million? Let us say you start here with 100,000 from 100,000 francs CFA, so 180. You reach 1% per trade. You reach $1 million after 293 days. 293 days, which will be represent like 7 months. Okay. And that $1 million, it is the equivalent of 500 millions francs CFA. So let us now say that you risk 5% per trade, right? You risk 5% per trade, and then if you risk 5% per trade, if you risk 5% per trade, starting capital $180, your first million is actually here, right? After 63 days, 63 days, which will be roughly 2 months, right? Okay. After 62 days. Now, there's another category of people who are, I call them degenerate people, traders, who risk between 35% per trade to 50% per trade. And after how many days do they reach $1 million? Let us use, first of all, 35% per trade. So 35% per trade, starting from $180 capital, and having the same risk reward. After how many days do you reach $1 million? With 35% per trade, you reach $1 million in 23 days. 23 days, which is around 3 weeks. 3 weeks, right? And now, if you reach 50% per trade, after how many days do you reach? After 11 days, okay, you see, after 11 days, you risk. After 11 days, okay. After 11 days, which is roughly two weeks, you have $1 million. But let me tell you something about degenerate people. Those degenerate people are not stupid. Those are skillful degenerate people. They are dumb as noobs who come in trading, risk 50% per trade, rely on luck, prayer, and hope, and burn their account because they didn't master, they don't know what it takes to do 11 days, 23 days. Let me tell you, having only the risk management without having the graphic will not help you. To win all of this, what I'm telling you, what I'm giving to you here, you need to master the risk, master the chart, and master your mind. your mental. Okay. Now we have the risk, the percentage per trade. Then you need to combine it with your read capacity, not your strategy. I didn't say the strategy, the read capacity. I have 14 theories of Vegeta theories that you need to master at its fullest before doing degenerate type of shit. And then let me tell you, even if you have these uh these 14 theories that you master it and you have the risk, that you know how to risk per trade, because risk this is the easiest one. Then the chart reading will take a little bit longer to master. You will need also, first of all, to reach your first financial goal. If it is financial stability, generate extra cash, grow your account, triple your salary with trading. First of all, you need to reach that first. You need to stabilize your life. You need to have food. You need to have a rent. You need to have some saving for health or uncertainty stuff. Because if you don't have it and then you start risking 50% per trade, you experience what we call early death experience or soon death experience, because you are risking too much money. Your brain, you will feel like you are dying. You are using all of your blood resource on a trade to prove what to who. Who are you? With your lame flesh, you don't master the chart, and then you start risking like a degenerate, unskillful degenerate. No, degenerate people in crypto, for example, or in trading too, who risk more than 50% per trade or 35% per trade, are first of all strong in analysis, strong in reading. They have good timing. They are not impatient. They are not scrambling like a wet dog or a wet cat. I don't know. A wet street dog. You need to master the chart. And let me tell you, what will increase your mental capacity and your psychology will be the chart read capacity, read ability. It is not the risk per trade. It is your chart read ability, and you need to master the 14 theories of Vegeta to increase your chart read ability. So your mentality is not too much linked to your life circumstances. If you already have a child, a shelter, a roof, food, or a salary or not. What increases your mentality is your capacity, your mechanical reading capability of a chart. This is where we will be focusing on. Because let us say, for example, there are people, there are teenagers who have reached that. They take the Mercedes Benz or the BMW car of their dad. They get on the highway, they go on the highway, start driving a car. They are less than 18 years old, and then they start causing accident and making their parent cry for nothing. Because you know what? This car is a risk. You take a BMW or a Mercedes Benz car, a powerful car, you go on a highway, start driving, living the fast life without having any permis de conduire is what any license, driving license, without having any skill to drive on highways. It is a direct, straight sending yourself to nowhere. You should not do that. You should first of all master. Look, for example, the Formula One drivers. Those guys start driving car from age 9. So by the time that they have the driving license, they already have some children, teenager on the age kid uh, driving license and driving skill before they reach 18, before they reach age 21, right? So they are already skillful when they join the Formula One, because they have a sort of reflexes, rules, principle, instruction that they follow before risking their life on fast cars. They started with the bike. They master their stamina. They master their their read capacity to read curve, to read speed rate and all. They use a lot of measure. So how can you go and risk 50% a trade without having any skill of read rate with broken strategy that everybody send, every fake guru send on YouTube? You should not do that. So to increase your mental capacity to earn the millions, the $1 million, you need to first of all increase your read rate ability. That's what we will be focusing on for the next part here below. For the next part here below in trading. For the next videos. The next video will give you the hyper elite reasoning acquisition. Okay, hyper elite. You need to be above the elite. There are elite traders on YouTube. Those people are profitable trader. Maybe they already have their own hedge fund, but they are wealthy. But upper elite is another level. Is another level. You need to know everything about this fucking chart. Everything in terms of reasoning, not in terms of colors or shape, in terms of reasoning. And it must be natural to you to trade. So let us go to the next part and let me show you every type of reasoning that you need to have.